You are watching Morning in America this Saturday. Thanks for joining us. Today marks 1 year since debris from Oceangate's Titan submersible was found after it suffered a catastrophic implosion right near the ocean floor. The sub went missing with 5 people on board, a disaster that captivated and horrified the entire world. Well, now, 1 year later, investigators are still trying to figure out what went wrong. NewsNation's Caitlin Becker is here with more. Caitlin, I followed this last year. I covered it. I have no doubt you covered it as well. It's a year later. What have we learned?
Unfortunately, Hena, we really have not learned anything about what caused this tragedy. The investigation has run into repeated roadblocks over the course of the last year. The U.S. Coast Guard Marine Board of Investigation originally set a 12-month timeline to determine what caused the Titan submersible to implode deep in the North Atlantic, but that's been extended multiple times. 1 year ago, 4 individuals and the CEO of Oceangate, that's the company that owned the submersible, boarded the Titan for a recreational dive to view the wreckage of the Titanic. And only an hour and 45 minutes into the dive, the Titan lost contact with its research vessel, prompting a massive multinational search and rescue effort. After 4 days, the wreckage of the Titan was located on the ocean floor, roughly 500 meters off the bow of the Titanic. How, when, and why the Titan imploded is what the Coast Guard investigative unit is trying to determine, but making the determination just has not gone smoothly. Investigators have needed not 1, but 2 separate salvage missions to obtain evidence, including the remains of the 5 individuals who died on board. Now, that evidence then had to undergo extensive forensic testing, leading to all of these delays in this investigation. Now, once they get all of this squared away, investigators need to answer some pretty specific questions about whether or not there was misconduct, negligence, or even laws broken that led to this incident. In a statement, the chair of the Coast Guard Marine Board of Investigation says, quote, "The investigation into the implosion of the Titan submersible is a complex and ongoing effort. We are working closely with our domestic and international partners to ensure a comprehensive understanding of the incident." Now, when the Titan disappeared below the surface, a lot of troubling information about Oceangate and its CEO, Stockton Rush, surfaced. Executives within the company and even outside experts had reportedly been sounding the alarm for years, since 2018, that the Titan mission just wasn't safe and was too experimental to put people on board. So very few people can say that they've been aboard that submersible, Hannah.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned what investigators are looking for. Is there anybody speaking about their experience who maybe has been on a submersible?
Yeah, that is exactly what's happening. We've actually spoken to them at NewsNation, specifically Carl Stanley. He was actually a friend of the CEO, Stockton Rush, and he was able to be a passenger on one of these previous missions aboard the Titan. And he shared some of his personal experience with Morning in America this week.
We were warned, the passengers, that it was going to make sounds, but I wasn't really prepared for the intensity and frequency of the sounds that we heard. And the more disturbing part was that it was still making sounds fairly close to the surface, which indicated to me that there was a permanent crushing, so to speak, of the hull, and that energy was being stored and then released.
It's just terrifying to hear about that and to think that it went under the water again, Hena. But we're not going to be getting details about exactly what caused the submersible to implode anytime soon. We're looking at maybe in the fall, towards the end of the year, from the Bureau of Investigation.
Thank you for that update, Caitlin Becker.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.